Chapter 7, Fleet Dynamics. You're going to pilot a drone swarm, Polly announced. We call them polypads. Marcus blinked. Named after you? Named after the FluxState poly mode full-dimensional engagement. She grinned. But yes, I may have influenced the naming convention. I'm very humble like that. Marcus, still recovering from his right of resonance 2 days prior, blinked. A what now? Autonomous defense constructs. We call them a fleet. Polly led him into a new training chamber, this one vast and open, with a ceiling that faded into what looked like actual sky. 6 drones, synchronized through the protocol, operating as a single coordinated unit. She gestured, and 6 crystalline shapes materialized, elegant bird-like constructs with wings of folded light. They hovered in a hexagonal formation, each one pulsing with a different color. Red gold, co, blue silver, av, deep purple, ru, white gold, ka, shadow black, earth brown, dr. Each drone is attuned to one of the 6 tongues, Polly explained. But here's the cool part, they're not just specialized. They can mode switch. She gestured, and the KO drone, red gold, suddenly shifted, its color bleeding through the spectrum until it pulsed with the deep purple of RU. Wait, Marcus said. It just changed roles. Polypads aren't rigid specialists, they are hot-swappable, 6 potential modes. Polly demonstrated again, shifting the drone back to KO. During normal operations, each pad runs its designated tongue. But during a crisis, they can reconfigure, 2 engineers when you need repairs, 3 science analyzers when you discover something new. Marcus felt his engineer brain light up. So instead of we need an engineer but only have navigators, you just shift modes? Exactly. Flexible response. The fleet reorganizes itself based on mission needs. Polly's expression turned serious. It's what kept Mars rovers alive when we couldn't contact Earth for 30 minutes. It's what lets autonomous systems survive alone. You have Mars rovers? Aethermoor touches many realities, Marcus. Some of them have space programs. Marcus watched the drones circle each other in perfect synchronization. This is like distributed robotics. Sure, if that helps. Now, your job is to command them as a unit. Tell them what you want achieved, and trust them to figure out the how. She pulled up a target on the far side of the chamber, a floating crystal sphere. Task, disable that target without destroying it. Go. Marcus studied the formation, 6 drones, 6 tongues. He needed to declare an intent that all 6 could act on simultaneously. He spoke in KO, Korshelva, immobilize the target, preserve integrity. Disable without destruction, the fleet moved. Not as 6 individuals, but as one organism. Co, red gold, designated the target, broadcasting intent AV, blue silver. Calculated approach vectors RU, purple. Verified they had authorization to act CA, white gold. Computed the binding equations shadow black, masked their approach, making them nearly invisible DR, earth brown, authenticated the binding as real. They converged on the crystal sphere in a 6-pointed star formation, each drone emitting a thread of light. The threads wove together, a lattice of hard light restraints that locked the sphere in place without cracking it. Target disabled. Integrity preserved. Marcus watched the drones return to formation, awed by the coordination. Each one had known its role instantly. No hesitation, no confusion. How do they know, he asked. How do they decide who does what? Byzantine consensus, Polly said. The 6 pads vote on role assignment. If 4 agree on a plan, they execute. Can tolerate 1 faulty or malicious pad without breaking coordination. N greater or equal to 3F+1, Marcus murmured. Where F is the max number of Byzantine failures. Sure, if that helps, Polly grinned. Math people love that formula. Not bad, she continued. Again. This time, hostile target. The crystal sphere turned red. Marcus felt a shift in the protocol. This target was now attacking, launching shards of energy at the fleet. Marcus's instinct was to panic, to micromanage, dodge left, shield up, counterattack. But that wasn't how fleets worked. He had to trust the swarm. He spoke again in KO. Corvelden, neutralize the threat, minimize collateral. Stop the attack, don't wreck the room. The fleet shifted formation, no longer a star but a layered defense. Shadow black phased into the target's line of fire, absorbing the first volley. RU. Purple locked the target's permission to launch further attacks. You are not authorized to harm this fleet. Ka white gold computed a counter frequency to disrupt the target's energy flow. AV blue silver delivered the disruption pulse. DR earth brown authenticated the disruption as a legitimate security response. KO red gold declared the engagement over the red sphere went dark, neutralized. The fleet returned to formation, hovering in perfect sync. Marcus exhaled shakily. Holy hell! You're a natural, Polly said, and she meant it. Most pilots take weeks to stop micromanaging. You trusted the swarm on your second attempt. I debug distributed systems for a living, Marcus caught himself. Did debug past tense? Polly's head tilted. You miss it. Earth, yeah. Sometimes. Marcus watched the drones orbit each other in their resting formation. But this is the same problem space, just with different tools, consensus algorithms, Byzantine fault tolerance. Emergent behavior from simple rules. He looked at her. The fleet is just a mobile swarm of echoes, isn't it? Polly grinned. Now you're thinking like a keeper. SCBE mapping. The fleet's 6 drones map to the DroneCore class in drone-core.ts. Each drone has a spectral identity, tongue, phase, baseFrequency, matching the 6 colors. The drone class enum, recon, coder, deploy, research, guard provides the role taxonomy. Mode switching, hot-swappable, maps to FluxState transitions. The fleet swarm consensus uses SwarmCoordinator, swarm.ts, with its Flux ODE dynamics. The 4 out of 6 agree rule is the BFT threshold. N equals 6. F equals 1, 6 greater or equal to 3 times 1 plus 1. The FleetManager in FleetManager. TS is the central orchestration hub combining AgentRegistry, TaskDispatcher, GovernanceManager, and SwarmCoordinator.